Hello and welcome to another episode of Chump Change, episode 24. As normal, with me today I have...
Pree, hi.
And we have a lot of topics for you today. First thing, I'm going to talk about the Nintendo Direct that was yesterday as of filming this, or 2 days ago as of filming this, because that
And
was
I'm,
hype.
and I'm going to talk about free time. What is that?
Next thing we're going to talk about is California is going to go from pay to pain to pay to play.
And hopefully we get to end off with some happy birthday ideas.
All of those topics and more on this episode of Chump Change. Alright, so, Nintendo Direct. Because you and I have been talking about Directs pretty frequently when they come out.
Oh, yeah.
I was very excited about this Direct. I didn't even know there was a Direct that day, on Wednesday. And when I saw it on my YouTube feed, while I was at work, I was like, I can't not watch the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Mario and Donkey Kong, and I was like, all right, I think this one's Lorenzo right here.
I don't think so much Donkey Kong, but I will read off a couple of the games that were announced. This will be from IGN News. Everything announced in the Direct. I'm gonna maximize this just so I can give you the list of games. We'll start with the ones that I thought were a little more underwhelming. There is a new Sonic game coming out. It's called Sonic Superstars. And it looks like a return to form for the game that everyone liked. Sonic... Oh, I don't want to butcher it. Not Generations. It was... a separate dev team basically recreated Sonic like in its original format. So that was something that people liked, and I think that this new art style for classic Sonic's gonna make people happy. They also announced 2 parts of the paid DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, yeah.
They announced, this says Pikmin 1 and 2. I skipped over Pikmin just because I didn't care. I imagine that's just like remasters. There's going to be a new Detective Pikachu game. Have you ever played Detective Pikachu?
I saw that. I never played it, no. Have you watched the movie?
I did, with Ryan Reynolds. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Was he Pikachu, or was he...
He was Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. And then something that I was super excited about, a classic NES game called Super Mario RPG was announced that it got remastered, like from the ground up. And that's coming out this year. And not only is that coming out, we're also going to get the first brand new 2D Mario game.
Well, Paper Mario, right?
No, it's like almost like New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. Like that style of game. But it's got a brand new art style, a bunch of new power-ups, and a bunch of different game mechanics. It's called Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Nice. Yeah.
Obviously,
sounds pretty spicy.
Obviously, I'm skipping over a bunch of them. There was a lot of really hype games that were announced. Oh, there's also going to be a Princess Peach game for the Switch.
Oh, man.
Yeah, solo title.
Could you help us out? Could you help clear my memory of Princess Peach from the new movie Super Mario Brothers?
She was in that movie.
Could you sing the song for me?
No, I'm okay.
Ah,
We'll save
that would
that.
have been good.
We'll save that for the cover album.
All right, that's fair enough.
But yeah, I'm skipping over a bunch just because I could probably sit here all day talking about like the games that were announced.
Yeah.
The one that stood out the most to me as a weird was they announced that they're gonna make the Batman Arkham trilogy available on Switch from Rocksteady. Which, it's weird to me just because I think one of the Batman Arkham games is on the Wii U. But it had a bunch of like gimmicky controls because of the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
and I heard that it handled like crap, which was depressing just because the Wii U was spec'd out to be akin to, or it was advertised to be akin to the PlayStation 3 or the 360.
Wow.
Yeah, so for it to just bomb and then control like hot dog, that was really disappointing. So I'm wondering how the Switch will handle it.
Yeah, because I mean the Switch is even more compact.
The Switch is compact, which means it could overheat if the graphics are too high, but
Yeah.
also just Nintendo's been very hit and miss with its compatibility and like how much graphics it can crank out of it. Like
Yeah.
I think the most intense thing was one of the Monster Hunter games. And then you have games like Scarlet and Violet and like all the recent Pokemon games where realistically they should have looked really nice, right? But just the way that the system handled it was god awful.
Oh, you mean like the rain when you're by the lake in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to farm, or sorry, get the best nature and like best like everything for my Pokemon,
Yeah,
for my Dondozo. Mm-hmm. I remember that. Those were good old days. I
man.
stopped playing because I couldn't play the game because I was standing there waiting for the rain to load.
Honestly, you asked me if I wanted to play Scarlet Violet on the channel, like when it came out,
Oh
and
yeah.
I hard said no, but because we can technically play side by side at the same time, like you can use your partner Switch or my partner Switch, and you could just run around and we'll record off mine.
Mm.
That would be funny, just because like that there's a lot of shenanigans that we can have there.
Oh yeah. We can be stealing each other's shinies.
What'd you say to me, mother effer? Here, battle me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of handling it in a duel, we'll handle it in a Pokemon battle.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was Batman was something that stood out to me as really weird. Besides that, run of the mill Nintendo Direct, they announced the 2024 Just Dance.
Oh yeah. Just
There
Dance coming to the channel soon.
apparently the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 was announced as well.
Have you ever wanted to watch two big chumps battle it out on the dance floor?
Okay, you're still stuck on that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has more. I think it's Wave 5 of their expansion pass too. And they added Petey, Piranha, and Wiggler as new characters.
I'm sorry, can you describe Wiggler for me? I don't remember who Wiggler is.
Wiggler's like the yellow ball worm guy.
Oh, he's a playable character now.
Yeah, he was playable in the 3DS version, Mario Kart 7. And
Oh.
Petey Piranha was from Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube.
Hmm.
Yeah, so both of those characters coming over is pretty interesting and cool.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to be heavy characters.
Yeah, I think both of them were in their respective games.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think
Alrighty, I'm going to go on a tangent here just because I want to talk about it.
go for it.
Talking about games.
Mm-hmm.
A game that just recently came out that I talked about on the podcast a long time ago. I was really excited for Final Fantasy 16.
Yes.
And I was like, well, it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get to play it. Sadly, I don't got a PS5. But I was watching some gameplay of it, and I do want to talk about it again.
Okay.
So I was complaining on Final Fantasy 15 because they just completely went away with the turn-based combat system.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to talk smack, about Final Fantasy 16,
Okay.
because now it just looks like we're playing Devil May Cry.
Oh, you were talking about that yesterday.
I was talking about it. Yeah, no. Me and Paulo were looking at some guy playing it, and we were watching a stream, so I can't really knock the graphics, right? Because
yeah.
I was watching a stream of a stream.
Yeah, mileage may
Of
vary.
the PS5, yeah. And I was like, well, and then Paulo was telling me the PS5 has a like speed setting or quality setting, performance mode. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, I was looking at it and I thought it looked pretty stellar. But I mean, maybe if I get a PS5 one day, I could give an honest answer besides they changed my game. But,
I
I just wanted to
mean,
put that out there.
you wouldn't be the first boomer to make that take, though.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I'm glad you mentioned getting a PS5 just because I've actually been stewing on this a lot. I kind of want to see if we can refurbish one. Like get one.
Well, so you used to have a PS5.
Yeah,
Let's start there.
I used to have a P. I think we talked about this on the podcast, but yeah, sure.
I think so.
Uh, I used to have a PS5, and I sold it just because I played all the games that I wanted to play at the time. This was what we lived together 2021.
Yep.
So around, I want to say, no, actually, I would have gotten it in holiday, and I sold it while I lived here. So that would have been March of 22. I got rid of it just because it was collecting dust, and I didn't want to be, holding on to this hardware that I didn't think I was ever going to use again, just because we were also hitting the point where like all of these games were hitting Game Passes, or PlayStation and Xbox were starting to put their stuff on their streaming platforms, which you can use on the computer.
Yep.
So it seemed kind of asinine for me to have this hardware when not only is my computer infinitely stronger than that the PlayStation 5, but none of the exclusives that I wanted to play were going to be exclusive for very long. I think we talked about this too, where games, it was probably exclusive for a month or two, and then it would go to other platforms.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for me to justify holding on to the PlayStation when it was literally collecting dust. Like
Yeah.
the odds of the hardware being damaged from sitting there not being turned on and having a ton of dust inside of it it's better to just, sell it for what it was worth and then keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because ultimately,
Yes.
I did get more for it than I had paid, because the MSRP went up since I bought it.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to talk about that. It has been how many years since the PS5 came out? I think it released sometime in 2020, 2019.
I think it was 19 because COVID, or no, it would have been 20 because COVID had
Yeah.
started.
I think 2020. So if I remember correctly, the systems usually run about 5 years.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just get a new one.
Hmm.
So I think we're hitting that 5 year mark pretty soon here.
Yeah, where we get the Pro and then the market's flooded with secondhand PS5s.
Yeah, because PS6 is going to come out eventually.
Well, PS6. So Sony is notorious for their 7 to 9 year gap. The
Mm.
odds are we're gonna get a PS5 Slim or a PS5 Pro or both in the next year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's going to be the Pro.
I'm hoping it's the Slim, just because if they can justify a Slim where it's just the digital model, or the digital model becomes the Slim, I'd be okay with that, because that means that there's going to be a price knockdown.
Oh, you mean like no disc reader?
Yeah. Because
I didn't even know there was still discs for the PlayStation.
yeah, the PS5 makes discs. There's a disc version that is $100 more.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've always wanted, or I've always liked discs more.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized in the PlayStation 3 or in the PlayStation 4, you couldn't play the disc unless you updated the software.
Yeah. So you might as
So
well
it
just have
didn't make
bought it.
sense. You might as well just buy it freaking
Well, see, then
digital.
we ran into the problem, though, much like we are currently with our PCs, where we max out our data, like because
really quick.
because the game files and the updates are on the system itself. You just like GTA should not be a 300 gigabyte game, but it is, and it would only on my PC it'd probably only be like 60 gigs from the updates and the DLC. If I had like a disc reader in my thing and they sold it as a disc for PC.
Yeah, see, and then I don't remember what game I was struggling with. I think it was Final Fantasy 13, but the disc broke.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
and it didn't necessarily break. So I was like, okay, maybe my save file was corrupted, but basically I got to this point, and then it kind of just really slowed down into like a freeze, and I was like, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So so I was like, I'm not gonna buy another one. That sounds a little silly. So I just was like, all right, I'm done. And then I came back to it about a year later, and then I actually got past that part,
Mm.
and I was like, wow. But sadly, another part later on, I hit just the same way,
Mm.
and then so I just put the game away. I was like, all right,
I'd be inclined to say like maybe your system's RAM or cache was just like,
yeah,
but I imagine you were playing other games with us around the time still too. So,
yeah, freaking
um,
PlayStation, huh?
yeah, seriously. But yeah, getting PlayStation 5s back in the office for both of us would be something that I want to shoot for. Just because Xbox has given us a lot of leniency with how much they're allowing to go onto their Windows platforms now.
Yeah,
Which, because we have PCs that are chunky, that means we could probably play a AAA title within a week of it coming out.
yeah,
But PlayStation, it looks like they're gonna go back into the era of, hey, we have exclusives, or we're gonna hog this game for a year, and then you guys can play it.
yeah,
Cause like
yeah. I mean, yeah,
something I really want to play when it comes out is Spider-Man. There's gonna be a new Spider-Man game.
the new Miles, right?
No, it's just Spider-Man 2, but it has both the characters in it, and then it has Venom in it.
Oh,
So I really want to play that, and that comes out
wait,
in
isn't that Spider-Man 3? Wasn't Spider-Man 2 Green Goblin?
okay. It's not following the movies. Jesus Christ, man.
So sorry. I was remembering the PS2 era, and I was like, well, I thought 2 was Green Goblin.
Well, those games followed the movies.
Oh, well, I don't know what's going on
you
in
don't
the.
even you don't even watch movies. How do you know that?
Uh, you know, if you asked me one line about the Green Goblin, I would have no clue. I don't even know what the Green Goblin like fights for. I don't know.
He likes Goblin.
Well, he's the Green Goblin.
Yeah, he gobbles and he's green.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I want to get PlayStation 5s for us to record stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna have that happen for us by the time Spider-Man comes out, just because October is already around the corner.
Wait, so you were thinking about getting a refurbished one?
So I don't want to get a refurbished one because that's still gonna cost upwards of like $300-400. I
Yeah.
want to get one that's broken
Mm.
because I think I know enough now from watching tutorials about, or not tutorials, but like, guys who fix the stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
And with my IT stuff that I've been doing, I think I have a rough idea of like what's repairable and what's not. The problem is people who want to flip those also know what to look for. So that's just like I'm gonna be on eBay bidding for for PlayStation 5 guts, hoping that I don't get outbid or someone doesn't like boost it insane to an insane amount.
Yeah.
So that's something that I want to do because I just think that would be cool content too, to be able to do something like that as an amateur.
Mm.
Because obviously these guys that have like Linus Tech Tip level tools to like fix those PlayStation 5s, that's not a common person thing.
Yeah.
So like getting the bare essentials to do it would be cool to show off, in my eyes.
I agree. Yeah.
Because that's something that you talked about with Linus Tech Tips too. Like he doesn't cater to the average Joe, which is why you don't care for his content first. But that's something that could be said about a lot of like makers or fix it people. It's just like,
Yeah.
not everyone has a whole warehouse of tools at their disposal.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Because if little Timmy, his cousin spills a cherry Coke on his PlayStation 5, it runs for another week, but then it has the problem where, a little bit got in the fan, he has to replace the fan. Little Timmy's not going to know how to do that.
Yeah. I agree.
So that's something I would like to do for the dual purpose of, we have at least a PS5 if we can make it work, and then also content. So
Yeah, if it doesn't work out, you can just put it back on the market.
4
You
parts,
know,
4
It-
parts, more
it's gonna be
broken.
the it's gonna be the mechanic special.
Oh man. But yeah,
All right.
Nintendo Direct. I'm excited for a lot of games, and I'm probably actually going to use my Nintendo Switch for the first time in a while. So keep an eye out for that content coming soon.
Alrighty, I think we're free to move on with my free time topic.
Okay.
So, man, we were sorry, not we.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting down, and you know, you can only scroll through so much TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, right? There comes to a point where I'm just overstimulated.
Incorrect. I doom scroll actively.
Yeah, there's a time. I got that time limit on the phone.
Mm.
Like once I hit that, I'm like, all right, put the phone down, bro. Like
you
you need to walk.
you activated parental controls on your on your own phone.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, man. It's like, hey, buddy, you've been on here for 5 hours. And, oh no,
It just shows you
5 hours.
it just shows you the Wii like take a break go
Yeah,
outside.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I wanted from my phone. Yeah, no, but so while I'm sitting there like looking at the screen,
Mm-hmm.
I tend to put the phone down and I tend to like walk around or do something, go get a cup of water.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, if I wasn't doom scrolling,
Yeah.
what could I be doing, or what would I be doing besides editing videos and making videos?
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you
You
said
know,
because I was about to say whenever I need to stop doom scrolling, I just go back to work.
yeah. Well, you see, you doom scroll to oblivion.
Mm.
See, when I do, I'm like, whoa, gotta, take a break. See, so I'm thinking, I was looking up by
Mm-hmm.
BetterUp.com, 11 things to do with your free time to feel happier and healthier. And man, if I tell you how many pictures I'm seeing as I'm scrolling through of people with coffee mugs, they're just like, oh bliss,
Oh yeah,
I'm doing nothing.
these are live, laugh, love people for sure.
Oh yeah. Anyway, scrolling down, right? They talk about setting boundaries and don't overwork yourself and whatnot. Number one on the 11 ways to spend your spare time: meditate. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this on the podcast.
We have actually.
We have, yeah, and I said that I do meditate from here and there, and that this was a good reminder. It says it helps reduce stress and anxiety.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Damn it.
I feel like as a company,
Mm.
we need to allot some of our personal work days, not personal, sorry, some of our work days with break time.
I ask you to work 2 days a week, and sometimes I can't even get that from you. What? What?
That's what I'm like one of those workers. One of those workers like, hey man, you worked me for 5 minutes. I'm gonna need to take a 10-minute break.
No. Sometimes you're like, man, I had that 2-minute meeting with you about some store stuff. I need a week vacation. We're gonna play Rainbow Six Siege, League of Legends, Balloons.
Oh yeah.
Man, just wait till we can do this full time.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be like, man, I need to go get my phlebotomy job so I can get a vacation for Big Chumps. I'm gonna be like, no. you better plant your butt back in the seat. Get back to editing.
Oh yeah. Well, you see, the next one here is read a book.
Read a book.
Man, you know what's crazy? I feel like a lot of these that I'm reading off this list here, I feel like they all come from the same article because I've talked about meditating. I've talked about reading a book. Yeah, hey. I'm led to believe there might not be a lot of things to do on your free time.
Hey, you can copy my homework, but just change the words
right?
around.
Like, I think on this Better Up website here, I'm not getting a flood of ads. So come on
actually,
now.
there is other stuff on here that I agree with. Oh man, number 10. I'm skipping around the list, by the way. Number 10, play video games.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Look at
number
this right here.
number 11.
Beautiful adventure stories and challenging puzzles. Jeopardy.
Oh
If you
god.
haven't watched
Oh
Jeopardy,
god. No.
go watch our gameplay on Jeopardy.
Da, 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 da.
That was a
How do you feel
great
about
game.
how do you feel about that outro though? That outro makes me smile every time I listen to it.
Oh yeah, because we were doing it and then it transitions into the
To
correct version.
just the rock version, not
Yeah,
even the correct version, the rock version.
that's the correct version.
Mm. If we
Yeah,
haven't
I
said
was
it,
very good.
if we haven't said it on the podcast before, Pree and I actually listen to rock covers of like pop songs, like popular songs, and pop
Oh
genre
yeah,
songs. So when I found that and I put it in the outro, I was like, Pree's gonna like this. This is
oh yeah. That was a really good transition too because we were doing it.
yeah.
That was sick. That was sick.
All right, let's see what else we got here. One that like actually makes sense and I think is cool. Number 4, 5, and where'd it go? And 8.
Man, how you gonna skip over 6?
I mean, you should just do that anyways. I don't know how that's a way for you to have wellness and personal
To
growth.
de-stress.
Yeah, some people do like I have a couple friends who do de-stress by cleaning.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm stressed out or angry or like if I'm in a mood that's not neutral and I'm cleaning, the cleaning's going to be aggressive. It's going to get done efficiently and fast, but it does nothing for me.
Mm.
It does nothing for me besides when I'm finally done and the last inch of the house has been deep cleaned. I'm just looking at my house. I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch anything now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Cause it's like you painstakingly did all this work because you were upset to make your house flawless, and then you're just like, if I do anything, it's gonna be out of order.
Yeah, yeah. See, normally, after you work so hard, see me, I'm just tired. I'm like, look, yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Man,
You know, I'm not gonna be mad in the dream, right? You know?
man, I don't know. Maybe you're a mad sleeper.
Alrighty, moving on here to a new language.
Yeah, new language I think is a cool one too, just because it's besides you just doing general wellness stuff. I think that is something that could broaden your horizons a bit.
All right, man. So we gotta start setting our timestamps now.
Ugh.
Alrighty, so we're gonna come back in how many months you want to say, Lorenzo?
0,
We're not gonna come back at all. Like we're just gonna start now.
or just gonna disappear.
All right. So here's our goal, right? Here's my goal for us.
There you go.
So I want us in a couple months here. I want us to at least do a segment of the podcast in a different language.
Can it be Japanese?
I mean, sure. I mean, we're gonna be speaking John Cena type level. Hopefully.
Man,
I don't know if his Chinese was good, but I mean he was saying something.
he was certainly saying something for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I want to do Chinese is man, you messed me up. The only reason I want to do Japanese.
Bing chilling, huh?
The only reason I want to do Japanese is because Japan is somewhere that I definitely want to take Big Chumps for a video.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool, and also just there's a lot of stuff like the biggest thing is Moon is allergic to fish, so knowing how to read, write, and speak in Japanese is something that would be very crucial to making sure that she's safe while we're out there.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with your partner. Your partner is allergic to peanuts. And if anything's made with peanut oil or peanut products, then that's something that you should be able to ask, but that's clearly not like common dialogue that someone would have.
Oh yeah, no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the picture
A picture of a peanut,
of the peanut with the
circle and the line.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good idea.
You're just gonna put like one of those. You know how like the dentist they have like the bead ropes.
Yeah.
With like the little clips on it. You're gonna get one of those. You're gonna clip the no peanut sign onto it. You're just gonna put her on her neck, and she's gonna walk around with no peanut.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna do a fish one for Moon, and then.
Oh yeah, see, we don't need to speak the language. It's a sign.
You know, that's not the worst answer I've heard about how am I going to speak Japanese in Japan if I don't speak Japanese. A
Hmm.
long time ago, I had a friend who said, "Oh, it's okay. I'll just use sign language." And what he did was, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you just did that.
He's gonna hit him with a chittery. That's pretty good, man. That's a
First
good
off,
idea.
it's called ASL, American Sign Language. Second off, this isn't sign language.
Hey, I mean, hey, there's American Sign Language. There's probably Japanese Sign Language.
Absolutely, I
You
definitely
know?
think there is. I just the being what would I have been at that age? 15. The advent of being 15 and someone saying I'm gonna do jutsu signs to talk to someone in Japanese blew my mind. I'm like, there's no way you just said that out loud. You're not real.
That's a great idea.
You're not real.
Mm-hmm. I'm be like, I want it hot. Fireball jutsu. You know what I mean? Oh man.
Man, I'm really hot. Wind style.
Oh no.
The sad part is I think someone would understand. Like, if you tried hard enough, someone probably can glean something from that.
You'd be like, I think he wants a water bottle or a balloon.
Does the water style jutsu?
Yeah.
Starts drawing the seal, like the black seal stuff on the ground. Just
Yeah.
oh, he wants
So
a
many jutsu, man.
he wants a frog.
No, dude, I just imagine like we're talking to this like 30, 40-year-old like dad.
Mm-hmm.
He brings his son over like, come over here, come over here. What is he doing over there?
Dude just pulls out like a Sand Village headband. He's just like,
Yeah, like the little kid's like,
you Leaf Village commoner, you came to my Sand Village.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
All right, man. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do Duolingo.
Yeah. So I actually thought about this because there's two reasons I want to hire a actual teacher for something.
Yeah.
I want to hire a teacher for vocal lessons just because I want to expand my ability to do voice acting. And Moon also wants to learn how to sing better, so that was something that I said, okay, maybe we should look for a teacher for that. And then I thought about it. I have benefited greatly from having a Spanish-speaking partner. My Spanish has increased drastically since I want to say I was 16 because I worked in an environment where everyone only spoke Spanish or primarily spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, it's not that I don't understand, it's that I need the repetition like beat into me to the point where there's no way I could forget.
Yeah.
Because now, like, survival Spanish or like basic conversation Spanish has become a lot easier for me. I could probably go up to most people and I could have a general conversation, with the exception of any other Latin people that have like a different dialect, right? Because certain words that mean different things in different dialects, so that could trip me up. But ultimately, I could have a conversation. Most people would generally understand what I'm trying to get. I might sound like I'm still doing high school Spanish, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That's better than nothing.
I've been told that I've been starting to develop an accent though when I do speak words I'm confident in, so that's cool. But
Nice.
I was thinking about doing a teacher for a different language just because theoretically, if being around Spanish speakers has improved my Spanish, the same should apply to a different language.
Yeah. Well, so the way I think about it is, if I get a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they're teaching me like the formal way,
Mm.
like if I wanted to write a book, I was taught more of the professional rather than like the slang and like
I don't agree.
that sort of thing.
I don't agree just because I've had situations where I've been called out for having Google Translate Spanish, because it was too proper and formal,
Yeah.
the way that I think was still in English at the time. So they said that my translations were too literal.
Yeah, which I'm like,
Because like in Spanish, a lot of idioms in English don't exist. It
yeah,
doesn't translate.
yeah,
Same thing with Spanish to English. Like no mames, it's an idiom that in English it's funny to say, but it doesn't have the same meaning.
yeah.
So I'd much rather learn conversational Japanese first, and then learn proper like reading writing.
Mm,
Just because I feel like vocal language is a lot more useful to like the odds of me writing a note to someone at our hotel on the little notepad in Japan, it's so much smaller than, hey, I need to ask for this. I need to know how to ask for this.
mm.
Cause even like if we use our cards, right, and we tip someone,
Yeah.
numbers are pretty universal.
I don't know if they're into that, but yeah.
I think numbers are generally universal. It's anything beyond the number that's requires a little more up here.
Yeah, I was referring to if they're into tipping. That's what I was referring to, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Some cultures don't do that, but
Yeah, man,
mm,
we could be starting our 30-day Duolingo challenge.
big a champu.
So what we see, what I want to see is I've studied Duolingo for 30 days. Let's see what I've learned.
Is that going to be a video? Is that a thing we're doing?
I don't know
Are we gonna
if you want
pay?
it to be.
Are we gonna pay for Duolingo Premium for 2 accounts to do
Oh, is
that?
there actually like,
Yeah,
you actually got to pay for it?
yeah, you have to pay for it.
What the hell? I thought it was like they give you some random flashcards like sea urchin.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. So I tried to start learning Japanese in Duolingo.
Mm.
It
See, I've
feels like
never used it.
the startup to it is kind of slow. Um, I forget what it was too. The most common thing that people see and they refer to is kanji. Or people will read Romanji, which is the Romanized version that like shares the phonetics of kanji.
Mm.
So what Duolingo did for the beginner phase for me was I got a lot of the phonetics in Romanji, and then I got some of the kanji, but because of the nature of the language, I think the kanji didn't look like anything I recognized from like an untranslated manga, or like none of the symbols were recognizable to me.
Mm.
Because when you never mind. I guess it doesn't really translate well, just because I was gonna say when you learn Spanish, you associate like letter groupings, but
Yeah.
also Spanish is a Romanized written language, so it's not the same.
La pizza.
La pizza, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
El hamburguesa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would be. I think that would be an interesting video. There's a lot of like personal documentation you and I would have to do. There's a lot of screen recording and footage would be need to be done as well.
Alrighty. So if we decide on that one, coming to you soon.
Yeah, keep your eyes out in a couple months down the line when we finally get all the footage together and we and we edit it.
Yeah, we got to put ourselves in the situations where we're gonna need it, though.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, they're gonna teach us sea urchin. All right, well, we got to go to the market, dog.
man, that means whatever month we decide to do that during, you guys are gonna hear a lot of that language during Chump Change too, just so we can keep practicing with each other.
Oh yeah.
But
All right. So how far are we, buddy?
how far are we?
Uh, we need to get into our next topic.
Did we just blow past our time limit for that one? It's
We
okay.
might have.
No, it's okay. We got time. All right.
Talking about current news.
I saw this today and I thought it was kind of interesting because the implications for California are weird.
Yeah.
California is going to go into a pay-as-you-go situation for Express Freeway 10 and 110, which I think is primarily the LA area.
Mm.
So the Metro board had decided to permanently decriminalize it, which means if you were driving in the expressways and you didn't have the fast track, like little transponder that you put on your,
Flex.
I mean, any of them work.
Yeah.
If you put it's like a little puck that you put on the windshield for those who don't live in California. I don't know if other states have that. I'm sure they have something similar. Um, so it's decriminalized now, which used to be a $250 fine, and the Metro board decided to make it a hey, whatever distance you drive in the expressway, we'll bill you and we'll charge you a small processing fee. Which is interesting to me because one, that just means it's fast track. It's the way fast track already works, except you don't need the thing.
Yep.
And I sort of get it because it means that no one is able to use it without being charged. But it's strange to me just because when you start decriminalizing certain things in terms of like the rules of the road, how many things can you get away with decriminalizing without it drastically affecting the way that people drive?
Well, so the carpool one, the fast track one, I think that one's a little interesting. So
Yeah, because over here where we live,
do enjoy.
It's a $350 fine over here.
Yeah, so I really enjoy the fast track express lane because, okay, if you are a carpool or not, you can technically still go, and then you just pay for it. Well, for the one that's $350, it's usually not metered. So it's usually, hey, everyone hops on it, and then they see a cop and they hop off. And then if you were the guy that got caught, oh well, shouldn't have got caught.
Which where we live, the cops usually didn't bother with it anyways.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, they're gonna stop 50 guys. Which they might. You got to make an example of somebody.
Well, see, and that's the part that makes it weird because it's like, okay, we're not enforcing traffic violations, and now we're saying, hey, we'll give you a slap on the wrist by just making you pay what you should have paid in the first place, right?
Yeah, which I like actually. So if you rack up a certain amount of balance on fast track, it will go onto your car. So like they won't let you register your car until you pay the fast track.
Yeah.
So that one to me is really nice. So at least like, okay, well there's your out right there.
Yeah.
There's your guarantee that you're gonna pay your due.
Yeah, unless you're the guy that just doesn't pay his registration ever.
Well then, all right.
You might have some different problems down the line.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting because like, yes, that does seem like it would be drastically more effective for enforcing the toll. But also it's like, okay, well now there's no serious harm to it, right? So, like, yeah, down the line it'll catch up with someone like you said, but also just, I think people who are inclined to not pay it in the first place, they just let those fast track things build up and they don't like pay attention to those papers.
Yeah, I mean they don't. I'm pretty sure when the registration comes, they don't care for it either.
Yeah.
But it's not like, okay, we're gonna say everyone's the worst apple of the bunch.
Yeah.
But for the guys who are kind of slipping into the cracks, I think it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah. In general, I just have never used the express lanes, especially if they like peel off from the main freeway, which I always thought was weird.
Where it has, or like, it's yeah, no, it's what's the best way to put it? Whenever I was in the carpool lane, half the time I didn't even know I was in the carpool lane. And then when fast track flex happened,
lane 4 down in the San Jose, greater San Jose area, lane 4 just turns into carpool out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, when you do fast track flex, well, you see the meter like every couple miles. I'm like, okay, well, at least I know that's the fast track flex lane.
Yeah,
and I know not to go there.
Something that I think kind of sucks though, and I mean it's been this way for years at this point. I think even before we started driving. I don't like that carpool isn't like free. I feel like that's something that should be incentivized.
Well, for fast track flex, excuse me, it is 3 plus free. Now the toll bridge itself, no, but Fast Track
Yeah.
Flex Lane, yeah.
Well, that's
Which
why.
it might be for the toll bridge too, but I never
No,
actually tried it.
toll bridge. You still pay toll.
Mm,
At least over here, like between our hometown and where I live, it's you still have
yeah.
to pay.
Mm,
Which is it sucks, right? Because we always see like, oh, take public transit. It helps on burning fuel and whatever. Like you should carpool or use public transportation to save on that. And yet it's a method that was, hey, even if you carpool, we're still gonna charge you now, as if you.
yeah. Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, yeah. Like I was even thinking about like barding over there,
Yeah.
and then like even when I did the price breakdown myself, I was like, I'm kind of paying the same exact price.
Well, okay, so you're paying the same toll, right? But your gas mileage is better, and you're not putting miles on your car.
Yeah, it's more like
That one's
the
a
gas the miles on my car is lower.
yeah. That one's
Yeah,
very much.
ultimately.
That one's very much a how much do you value your time, which
Yeah,
I actually like riding public transportation like trains and stuff.
yeah,
So going to San Francisco on BART for me is it's not something that's consequential. But yeah,
yeah. I really want to talk about bullet trains again, but we talked about bullet trains a lot on the podcast.
let's have them have some new developments on the bullet train, then we'll talk about it more. Or we can go to Japan and we can get on the bullet train there.
And then we could talk about our bullet train experience. See, like it's all coming together now. Duolingo,
Man,
into Japan trip, into we're gonna talk about bullet trains again,
this guy likes trains. You're like
and then we're gonna build the bullet train.
you're the I like trains guy now.
Mm, mm.
Anyways,
You
I think
know,
oh
current news. Sorry, current news. Lorenzo doesn't know much about the submarine thing.
no, we're not talking about the submarine right now.
Submarine went missing.
No,
Cause for implosion. It happened like today,
that didn't happen
as we're
today.
recording the podcast.
That didn't happen today.
News is happening today.
That didn't happen today. Talk about your last topic. Come on, we got to close out.
All right. Anyways, before we end off here, happy birthday ideas. It is gonna be my birthday in a week, actually. So yeah, my birthday's in a week. So I was trying to look at some things to do,
Mm.
and number one on the list is attempt an escape room.
Mm.
Would you be into that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about doing escape rooms before.
See, so here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's you have a good amount of people, or they're gonna put you with some randos.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hit the mic there. They're gonna put you with some randos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we might need to make some new friends here, man, or some more friends.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends who are drastically spaced out, so we might need to make something happen here.
Yeah, so and I was thinking, what else to do on my birthday, right? I'm like, well, I can do an escape room.
Wait, real quick. Asterisks. We need to make friends who are okay with being on camera too.
Yeah. And we got to ask the place if they're okay with us filming.
Go ahead.
Sorry, number 3 on the list from bucketlistjourney.com. I don't know why it's all from the same website, too. Huh? They're kind of all together.
Mm.
Is become a plant parent.
That just sounds like plant to plant.
I mean that's number 3. I mean, so number 2 is bar hop until morning. I'm not that much of a drinker.
Mm.
But becoming a plant parent.
Yeah.
Here, look, right? So, if you forget to feed your dog, the dog gonna be mad and upset with you, right? Dog gonna bark at you.
Yeah.
If you forget to water your plant,
it dies.
Yeah, I mean, so does the dog.
Yeah, dog can go 3 days.
I mean, the plant can go a pretty good bit too. But yeah, like, I don't know if I'm ready for that level of commitment.
Oh man, I'm looking at the late 10s. Late 10s are more up your alley.
Yeah, man. Yeah, some of these are hard. Like, do a birthday photo shoot. Like,
Uh,
oh man.
we could technically print more shirts, and we could do a photo shoot for your birthday. Are you
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
could.
Are you gonna be back? No, you're gonna be gone on your birthday.
No, 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 no. I'm still here on my birthday. I think I'm leaving in July.
I thought it's this next week that you're gone.
It's the week after, I think.
So the week of what, the first or the second,
Yeah,
whatever that week
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So number 18 is get a strike at the bowling alley.
What, bro? You missed over you skipped over the other two that I wanted you to talk about.
All right, go ahead and read those two.
Number 15, gamble at a casino. If you
Okay.
if you guys don't know, let me tell you something about my good friend here, Pree. This man loves the casino. He loves it. He loves living there. He can, if you gave him a couple $1,000s, he'll be in there for 20 minutes. If you gave him a couple $100,000, he'll probably live there for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll leave like 8 minutes after the couple days.
You know, see, my favorite thing about the casino is if you go to Reno and you go to one of those really nice casinos and you can get free alcoholic beverages. Those are really nice. Those I really like getting because, you know, you just sit there and you get your drink and then you sit there some more.
Yeah.
And you ask for another drink. And I didn't tell you about the gambling part. I said just sit there. Yeah.
You know Nana, Pree.
I do know Nana.
Nana's favorite casino to go to and resort to go to is the Pepper Mill in Reno. Yeah.
Alrighty, buddy. So number 24, we're gonna go on a hot air balloon ride.
No.
Oh,
You skipped number 17. No, you skipped number 17. You got to say it. You got to say number 17, brother.
Get a psychic reading.
Go for it, brother. Tell the story.
Alrighty, guys. So we went to a psychic pretty good while ago. I think it's been about a good couple years.
2019.
We went to the psychic and we got a reading. You know, there's all of these like skepticisms and whatnot, and you know, I'm like, hey, mileage may vary, but the psychic really spooked me. How about you, Lorenzo?
So the experience that Pree and I both had when because the lady told us not to talk to each other about it, and there wasn't enough time between him walking out of her room and me walking in for us to even look at each other. Like, it was very instantaneous, the switch. So I walk in there, I do my reading, I walk out, we give her the money, and we get into his car to go home. Him and I just kind of look at each other. He was white. He was pale white. Like, she said some stuff to him that like shook him at his core, and it was very much the same for me. Like, she had called out things that were very specific that it's not obvious happened in my life. And I was very confused because I was like, that's not something that you can like look at my body. Like, you know how like body language and stuff gives the impression of something?
Yeah.
Like, very much things that didn't disturb me or alter my body, but she knew happened.
Yeah.
And I was just shook. And to this day, we have still not talked about what she said to either of us.
Yeah.
Just because we were both shook at how much she knew. Like, she probably knows this podcast is happening right now. I'm convinced
she knew us more than we know us.
I'm convinced that was an actual witch. She knew everything.
You see, look, whenever we drive somewhere and we're like, hey, there's another psychic, I'm like, well, that's not that psychic.
See, but that could make you less what is it? Evasive of the original psychic we saw.
Yeah, see, well, you see, so what my fear is, right, is we think so highly of her, so whenever we see another psychic, it'll never be the same. You know?
I want my expectations to be lowered.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I very much want to go to just some corner hocus pocus shop in San Francisco, and just run it. So then it's like, okay, this person's full of crap. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Because then you and I will be less spooked, and we're more likely to go back and do it somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's like 8 of them on the street that I live on. There's a ton over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, who would have thought being a psychic such a lucrative business? But
Well, how much she charged? That one charged us.
oh, I mean, I think it was worth the price, though. What do you think?
We got a good story out of it, and she spooked us. So I'd say yeah.
I think she did her job.
Man.
I gave her a 5 out of 5 stars on Yelp.
Oh man, you skipped over number 19 as well.
Oh, get a tattoo.
You love tattoos, man.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos. How about you, Lorenzo?
No, I've talked about on Twitter and I think on the podcast about getting one for content.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. What will we get?
On Twitter, I was saying that I would get the hero logo from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX or like the elemental hero cards, or I would get a Karibo. I did say to that person though, it would have to be like I'd have to duel someone I'd have to lose for me to get that tattoo. There'd have to be a cause.
Yeah, well, we could up the ante,
Oh man, when we go back for Jeopardy episode 3,
oh dude,
we bring Paulo over or someone else over, and the loser, like the third place, has to get a tattoo agreed upon by the other 2 people.
That would be pretty nice.
Paulo already has tattoos too, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason for him to disagree to that.
Yeah, he's like, okay, it's just another Thursday.
Mm-hmm. So that would be cool. But we're also talking about for birthday.
We're also talking about for a birthday, yeah. Getting a tattoo for my birthday, I don't know. I don't really know what I would get. I'm sorry. What?
Tramp stamp.
My goodness, excuse me.
Get you one of those anime waifu peaks, but on where the hem of your pants would sit.
My goodness.
That would be funny. That's a story.
That would be good, yeah.
Like you bend over and because you're a big chump, your shirt hikes up a little bit when you bend over, and then like some random lady behind you sees a 02 from Darling in the Franxx peeking over your pants. You know
that would be funny.
That's a temporary tattoo idea, actually. So then you can switch out which waifu's peeking over your pants.
Yeah. That would be good.
I'll get on that right now.
My goodness.
Peak stickers, but temporary tattoo.
Hey, you know what? You know what I did skip over as well?
What's up?
Number 20, go bungee jumping.
Okay.
If you want to see 2 big chumps go bungee jumping?
I think it's less bungee jumping and it's more like being hung from your ankles.
Well, I wouldn't say we're going to be hung. Because we're gonna.
You're right. Our ankles aren't strong enough, and it would get our ankles would just rip off of our bodies.
Yeah. Or the rope would just tear.
No, I think our ankles would give out for like.
Dude, imagine.
There'd be a little bit of there. It'd be like a Minecraft lead. You know how you can like hang animals with Minecraft lead. So the bungee cord would give us a little bit of like slack, or it'd give us a bit of like a drop down from like tension, and then our ankles just go.
See, what I was thinking, right, is there's the hook that it attaches onto.
Uh-huh.
And we would just pull that out the socket, pull it out the wall. And then we'd go all the way down.
Yeah. Either way, that sounds like instantaneous death.
We're going to be screaming Big Chumps on the way down.
As long as it's content. You know my rule.
Yeah,
Let's see what else you got here. Ice skating? I've been ice skating before. That's not fun.
Skydiving?
I want to. I think we're too big. I think there's actually a weight limit on
yeah, there might be for the parachute. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll tell them put 2 parachutes on us. like a F1 car.
Yeah. I'll be pretty. Ride all the rides and play the games at an amusement park.
Ugh.
Send flowers to yourself.
Board game night. Pajama party.
Test drive your dream car.
That would be cool.
You know how scary that is?
Comedy show.
Yeah, actually, I would.
Mini golf.
Mini golf?
So, okay, mini golf is hard, right?
Yeah.
Because that's very much something I would like want to record every part of. Which means we very much would have to ask for a time slot for no one to be in the park.
Oh, in like the little mini golf area?
Yeah. Unless they're okay with it, and then they just hand out like, "Hey, someone's filming. Can you sign this release form?"
Yeah, pretty cool.
I think it's more realistic to be like, "Hey, can we just rent out like an hour or two?" And
Hold on, I just saw this one. Find like the big chump in me, like my eyes caught it. Indulge in your favorite meal.
There's a lot of them that have been like food related. So the fact that that's a separate, like, there was a hire a personal chef thing. So the fact that that's separate is like,
I'm pretty confused as you are.
Write a letter to your future self. Okay. To quote Senor Hobson, Chump Change is very much my public diary. Whatever I'm thinking, whatever's going on in my life, it's going to be said here. So dear future self, get bent. Because whatever I do today will affect you. Printable bucket list? What? That's called a piece of paper. What? Huh? Hello?
Alrighty, I think I'm pretty done looking at the bucket list. How about you, buddy?
Bucket list, interesting. It's weird, right? Because it's like something that you could conceivably think of yourself, but very much oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
But do you know what else I didn't think about?
What?
This outro. So if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Could you do the plug for the store, Lorenzo?
BigChumps.com/store, or just go to the homepage. I don't think I fixed the link yet. A fair warning, actually, a little PSA. It appears that by the end of Q3, Squarespace is buying all of the Google domains, which is who we bought our domain with. So, pending anything going wrong, the store will be up still. But in the event that we do need to change, we will make a public announcement saying that the store will be down temporarily. However, if we do have to take the store down for any amount of time, Pree and I did agree we were going to make some drastic changes to how the store operates. So we'll keep you updated.
Alrighty, well, I think that'll wrap up this week's episode of Chump Change.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Alrighty, and I think we will catch you in the next one.
See ya!
See ya!